Welcome, everybody, to another exciting edition of Pedal to the Metal. This is Rock and Metal News Bite-Size Edition. On the newest episode of Pedal to the Metal, which was episode 183, we reported on a incident that happened with Cradle of Filth, where Zoë Federoff said she was done, right? She didn't want to be keyboardist anymore, but she wouldn't say anything. Right? No rhyme, no reason. We didn't know. But as I posted that podcast episode, new news arrived. And here we are, because now another member of Cradle of Filth has decided that they are also done. But the only difference being they're going to ride out the rest of the tour, unlike Zoë Marie. And funny enough, it is her husband who is now calling it quits. That's right, Marek Zmerda, I believe is his name. If I'm saying that wrong, I apologize. If you don't know who he is, he's the member of Cradle of Filth that looks like Pinhead, except without the pins. That's how I differentiate him from everybody else. But he has released a statement explaining everything for all of you out there. He says, "Dear fans and friends, I ask you to please respect my wife and myself in this transitional period. I am indeed leaving Cradle of Filth at the end of this current tour, and the reasons behind this are conclusions my wife and I came together at long before this week. We simply do not feel like Cradle of Filth can provide for our future, and in fact hinders it. Among other reasons, it is a lot of work for relatively low pay. The stress is quite high, and we haven't felt for a while like this band actually prioritizing caring about members. It has been years of unprofessional behavior from people above us that led to our decision." He would go on to say something about the Ed Sheeran thing. So basically, he has asked Cradle of Filth to remove everything that he's worked on the new album. He does not want it being used. And he goes on to say this about the Ed Sheeran song: "This feels like foolish clown antics for me at this point anyways. First, it was a charity single for kids, then for profit single, then on the next album, and now who knows? I just do not want to be involved anymore. No disrespect to Ed Sheeran." As I said, he has asked Cradle of Filth to remove all of his tracks. He does not want them on the new album. So this is going to be quite the setback for sure for Cradle of Filth. As soon as we hear anything from Danny Filth or anybody else from Cradle of Filth on any of this, we'll definitely let you guys know. Band drama sucks. Nobody loves it. Nobody likes it. But you know, I've seen plenty of times, you know, these kind of things happen where people feel they're not getting paid properly for what they bring to the table. And if that's the case, then you can't really blame Marek for wanting to move on. Maybe that is the best decision. At least he was strong enough to come out and say what he had to say. I just believe Zoë at this point. I now believe that Zoë didn't say anything for fear for what would happen to Marek, because obviously if they're married and one is like, nah, I quit and that's it, she doesn't want to jeopardize what the other is going through, and maybe didn't want to bring him any grief during the tour, because obviously we know how bands can be. It's like a marriage, you know what I mean? You're going to be throwing tantrums, or at least you hope things remain professional anyways at that point. So like I said, if we hear anything else on this Cradle of Filth drama, we'll keep you guys involved. We'll report everything we have to. That's what we're going to do. That's what we always do. Please subscribe to the channel. We appreciate every single one of you that subscribe. We love all of you. We try to bring you as much content as we possibly can, and hopefully you're enjoying it. That's all that matters, is hopefully you're enjoying what's going on. So thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of Rock and Metal News Bite-Size Edition. I'm your man, Eddie Monster. We'll see you next time. Stay metal.